Today is another WRAL weather alert day. We're tracking flood chances and storm chances increasing hour by hour this evening. I'll show you who's most at risk.
Repairs continue here in Moore County following Chantal. Coming up, when this stretch of road could be repaired that leads to a major interstate.
Standalone Children's Hospital, the first of its kind in North Carolina. Where it's happening, how long it's been in the works, and the jobs and billions of dollars it's bringing.
And we join you with this live look of downtown Raleigh. The rain is really coming down again tonight, right? It's day after day. We also got a live look of a view over Garner, the big dark clouds in the distance, that downpour that you can see off into the distance there by the horizon. I'm feeling the same way you are. You know, here we go again, and enough is enough. But severe thunderstorm warnings and a flood advisory, both in effect right now in Wake County. You can see the storm right here on the radar moving through our area. We appreciate you being with us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Dan Haggerty. Let's send things over to Kat Campbell in the Severe Weather Center. That flood advisory, Kat, that lasts until at least 8:45 tonight.
Yes, and heavy rain could lead to some big issues for anybody who's out and about on the roads for dinner right now. The WRAL garden camera showing we're getting hit hard here at our TV station as well. We can hear it on the roof. And this is the main complex of storms that we are watching in Wake County, but also some heavy rain moving into Franklin County and parts of Lee County as well. Wake County is where we've got the severe thunderstorm warning. This is situated right over downtown Raleigh, right inside the Beltline is where we have the most intense part of the storm right now, but it is approaching Garner next. Apex, Cary, Holly Springs seeing torrential rain. But the reason why you're not included in the severe thunderstorm warning is because you can see where we've got the strongest winds, and that's more of a confined area. It is drifting a little bit closer to Knightdale, so keep that in mind. Garner also seeing that potential for strong winds, and the warning expires in 15 minutes for this severe thunderstorm warning. Here's the flood advisory. Rainfall rates are pretty impressive in this storm, and when you combine the last night's rain with tonight's rain, North Raleigh nearing 3 to 4 inch rainfall totals. And here are those rain rates. See the yellow? We've got 4 inch per hour rainfall rates, and that certainly constitutes the flood advisory. A flood watch remains in effect for our entire area through 2 a.m. Coming up, we'll have a radar update. I'll let you know when the worst of this should be over.
All right, Kat, we have that severe thunderstorm warning again in Wake County, and we have Willie Danley live out there on the roads giving us an update. Willie, you're around Hillsborough Street in Raleigh right now. What's the scene?
Well, Dan, the rain is definitely coming down very hard and very quickly. We've only been on the road for about 15 minutes, but we've had a pretty strong and consistent downpour. Before we route here, I'll show you what we're looking at.
All right, having some trouble there with Willie's live shot. Brian Schrader here in the WRAL Live Center. This is a look from our tower camera here at our studio on Western Boulevard, looking back toward downtown Raleigh. Can't see a thing because it is raining so hard. Take you to a couple of live cameras right now in Raleigh. This is I-40 at South Saunders Street. You can see how hard the rain's coming down. Also seeing where traffic's slowing down a little bit, as it should under these conditions. The heaviest rain now just moving into the Garner area with a live look at 70 at Timber Drive. You can also see the camera blowing around just a little bit out there. And here's a live look at Southeast Raleigh. This is I-40 out at Rock Quarry Road, where we're still dealing with that flood advisory in effect for much of Wake County until 8:45, and that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for another 10 minutes or so.
All right, thank you, Brian. Look, the rain can cause a lot of problems, and that even counts for us here at WRAL with some of our equipment. But we do have Willie Danley back live as you take a look at them out on the roads there. All right, Willie, you were talking about some of the conditions. What else you got?
Well, yes, Dan, as you can see right now, it's very wet out here clearly. And on the side of the road, there's a lot of ponding happening. People are driving slowly. And I'll tell you, this rain has slowed down a bit compared to what it was like only 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago, we could barely see a couple feet in front of us. There were cars that were driving with their hazard lights on because that's how low the visibility was. And we're not even on an expressway or anything like that. This is just the regular roads around Raleigh. So we're going to continue to remain out here on the streets and keep you updated with how these road conditions are.
All right, thank you, Willie. Appreciate you coming back and talking to us. Now, the busy road here you see behind me in Moore County could reopen as early as tomorrow. That's the hope. This is Midland Road at US 1. It's one of the roads where repairs are coming together now after the flooding from Chantal. Many other roads there are still shut down. WRAL's Destiny Patterson takes us through what it's going to take to get them all reopened.
Just down the road from Aberdeen, crews are hard at work here in Southern Pines, working to reopen this stretch of Midland Road. It leads straight to busy US 1, and it has been shut down since floodwaters washed away part of the road.
Obviously, Midland and US 1 is it's a primary route. It's a highly trafficked route.
Now state transportation crews believe it could reopen as early as tomorrow, but back-to-back rain is complicating their efforts.
Has any of the following rainfall impacted the level of cleanup and repair that crews have been able to do?
Some of our work is weather permitting. We're trying to get as much work as we can done, but then obviously we have evening storms coming up most nights this week.
The extra rain also has the county emergency management team stepping up preparations.
Some of our dams have some damage associated with them. So we're a little nervous about if we do have a significant amount of rain, what that might do to some of that weakened infrastructure already.
One of those dams is right here in Aberdeen, just minutes away from Southern Pines.
This is Aberdeen Lake back in the 50s, 60s, 70s.
A town favorite then and now.
This was the place that everybody came to.
But heavy rain from Tropical Depression Chantal quickly made this lake overflow, leaving a path of destruction and turning this area into a place Mayor Robert Farrell doesn't quite recognize.
I've never seen this like this before. This is going to take a while. This is not an overnight fix.
The county is asking people to submit any damage reports over the next several days that could help them get federal assistance, but it's not guaranteed. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News, Moore County.
This is truly a win-win. Win. That's your quote of the day, coming from the North Carolina Treasurer, Brad Briner. Not a win-win, but a win-win-win. That is 3 wins. And this is what Briner is talking about. This is plans for North Carolina's first ever standalone children's hospital. It'll create 8,000 jobs, open the door to even more development, and of course, help countless families and children. There are your 3 wins. Ashley Rowe got the specifics and talked to WRAL State Government Editor Jack Hagel.
Jack, when I was reading the news that you broke last night, the first thing that I was thinking was, wow, North Carolina hasn't had a standalone children's hospital. That surprised me, but now we will.
Yeah, until now, we've had all these pediatric units within the general hospital, so that's served that function. But the Triangle's been running out of pediatric beds. You know, it's been growing faster than they can build them. So they saw this as an opportunity to maybe add some beds, but also within a development that's designed specifically for kids. And also there's a research component to this too. Duke and UNC have medical centers, and they can collaborate on researching pediatric health.
Why Apex?
Well, 3 things: land, time, and roads. There aren't a lot of big pieces of land out there in Wake County anymore because it's been growing so fast. They wanted 200 acres, and there just happened to be this development right there in Apex, right in between 3 major roads, US 1, NC 540, and NC 55. And because it had already been kind of zoned, that's going to speed the development along. And so they saw those as really important factors.
This is interesting, though, because that 200 or so acres is just a small piece of that land, so they have the opportunity to build around it, too.
That's right. They really want amenities, things like hotel rooms, because remember, you've got families that are going to be coming here, staying for a little while if their child is sick for an extended period. So what this does is this allows it to kind of become an anchor in this much bigger development.
Yeah.
And so just 200 acres of it could spawn a lot of development, shops, offices, homes, you name it, out on the extra 700 plus acres.
Well, let's talk just about the jobs and the boost to the economy.
Yeah, the state estimates that this is going to create 8,000 jobs. That's an awful lot. They say it's one of the biggest economic development deals in state history, certainly in the region. Because it's just a fraction of that development, there could be thousands and thousands and thousands more. When the developers first envisioned Viridia, which is the name of the development there, they thought it was going to create 30,000 jobs and generate billions and billions and billions of dollars in tax base. This is just the beginning, so it's going to be a lot.
Yeah. I have 2 kids at home. I know a lot of people watching have children as well, so they are looking forward to this. What kind of timeline are we working with here?
Well, they've got a few hurdles. They need to get funding. Right now, the state is negotiating its budget, and the House and the Senate haven't quite agreed on how much money to give this project. It's going to be about $3 billion. Wow. They're going to need to get money from donors and maybe philanthropists, and they're going to have to chip in their own money. That's going to take a little bit of time. They really hope to get out of the ground sometime in 2027. They think it'll take 6 years to do, so they're looking at early 2030s for completion.
Okay, all right. Well, I know you're going to stay on it. Thanks so much, Jack.
Thank you.
Now, it takes more than just medicine to treat cancer. It takes people, a community, offering their support. That might sound a little cheesy, but it's the real deal. The most recent WRAL documentary told the story of a woman diagnosed with colon cancer at 34 years old. We'll tell you how social media gave her strength. Plus, pretty soon you'll be able to get alerts at the beach about shark bites. Stick around. It's tonight's One Last Thing. Kat?
And I've got a new severe thunderstorm warning to tell you about. This one also includes Raleigh. The other warning was supposed to expire at 7:15. This has been extended until 7:45 and now includes parts of Johnston County. I'll walk you through these storms and exactly what time they should arrive using our storm tracking tool coming up.
As we bring you back, we want to keep checking in with Willie Danley. Willie, we know that the rain is pouring down. We have seen flooding across the area this entire week. Give us an idea of what the roads are looking like, because when it's coming down like this, it can get dangerous.
Yeah, Dan. Well, right now we're driving on Avent Ferry, and I'll tell you, we're seeing some pretty intense standing water. People are having to drive around. We just passed some pretty large accumulation on the side of the road. This is what we're seeing right out in front of us. This is the intersection of Avent Ferry and Gorman right here. We're about to make a left turn on Gorman. I'm showing you what we're seeing. We haven't seen any accidents yet, but we've definitely seen some congestion due to people slowing down here on the roads in this severe weather. It's been a pretty consistent downpour of rain for the last 30 minutes, going harder than others at certain times. Remain out here and keep you updated with what we're seeing. Back to you in studio.
All right, thank you, Willie. We'll keep checking in. Also, we should mention 800 power outages just reported in Wake County. So we are seeing some effects from this rain yet again. But we'll keep you updated throughout this newscast. More young people are getting cancer, and doctors are racing right now to try and figure out exactly why that is. It is the focus of our new WRAL documentary, Diagnosis Young, which looks at the role that food and other factors may play into all of that. A WRAL documentary investigator, Kristen Severance, shows how one cancer patient is using social media to help herself and others fight this disease.
Former personal trainer and bodybuilding competitor Bianca Harvey shared just about everything online for years. But getting colon cancer at 34 changed everything. She was too scared to post about her diagnosis.
I didn't think that I was physically, mentally, emotionally, prepared, spiritually prepared for what the world might say or how ugly the world might be.
It took a year before she was ready.
I prayed about it a lot. I asked God what avenue he thought I should take, what I should be doing, what my purpose was, because I'm still here. And I felt like, he told me it's okay for you to tell people. And I'm so glad I did, because that's a whole newfound community that I didn't even know existed.
Bianca has found thousands of people rooting for her, people she inspires who give her strength right back.
There's millions of people that just have family members that's going through cancer, who have survived cancer. But I just didn't know that outpour was going to be so as impactful as it is.
We told you in our recent documentary, Diagnosis Young, the new face of cancer in NC, how more people under 50 are getting cancer.
This is my life.
Hope Reynolds.
This is my life over the last 4 years.
Diagnosed with breast cancer at 21, is in remission. She said life after cancer is tough too.
It's like planning for a future sometimes, can feel really hard for me because it brings up this little doubt in the back of my mind of like, well, what if I don't have a future?
Many hospital systems have support groups for people with young onset cancer. Duke Health has an adolescent and young adult oncology program.
And it provides that peer support. It provides that support around fertility and family planning. It provides the support around how to make decisions about future career and current career that are tailored for their diagnosis and their ultimate journey with their cancer.
For Bianca, deciding to share her journey isn't just for her. She had terrible stomach pains that were dismissed as GERD before she got her colon cancer diagnosis.
You know, what happened to me, I don't want to happen to other people. You know, I don't want them to be going to the ER and saying that they think something's wrong and they keep telling them, like, there's nothing wrong with you.
Dr. DeVito, how are you?
Dr. Nicholas DeVito, one of her doctors at Duke, believes telling her story will help others too.
So people are going to be more vigilant. Don't just settle with that diagnosis of GERD. I read Bianca's story. You know, there's certain things like that, and by talking about this, just as we're doing right now, that's what makes me optimistic.
Like, no, we have to advocate for ourselves. We have to keep going. We have to get second, third, fourth opinions when we know that something is going on with our body. We know our body better than anybody else.
You can watch our entire documentary, Diagnosis Young, on WRAL's YouTube page right now. I'm WRAL documentary reporter Kristen Severance.
I'm closely tracking the severe storms moving through Wake County right now. Check out the WRAL Garner Tower camera right now. This that you see right here, that is the wall of water that is coming. This storm is moving to the southeast pretty slowly at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So the timing would put the storm in Knightdale at 7:23, Anger 7:43, Wendell 7:44, Clayton 7:50, and Cape Fear about 7:55. Archer's Lodge will be shortly before 8 o'clock as well. The flood advisory remains in effect though until 8:45. Check out all the heavy rain. Some of this does include yesterday's rain. These are 24-hour rain reports, but you can see the red here. That's when you get into the 2.5 to 4 inches of rain, very heavy rain in northern Wake County. Please let us know when it's safe to do so. If you have any kind of wind damage or flooding issues nearby, go to WRAL.com and search report it. Send in those reports and we can relay them to the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service has actually reached out to us and asked for any reports that we can get to them. The severe thunderstorm warning has been extended now. This goes until 7:45 as the storm moves through eastern Wake County and begins to close in on Johnston County. Now, this is the most intense part of the storm, but Franklin County is still seeing some torrential rain. It'll be a brief window of torrential rain. In Sanford, you've got some storms moving in as well. But we're going to watch those storms in South Carolina to potentially approach as we get toward 9, 10, 11, midnight in our southern counties that really haven't seen very much action yesterday or today so far. Over the weekend, though, things settled down for us. We can finally shift our attention from storms back to the heat. 92 for the high tomorrow, but storm chances are much lower. A 20% chance. There will still probably be a pop-up cell or two, but there just won't be very many. Saturday, it's a 30% chance. 96 on Saturday, and Sunday a 40% chance of some scattered late day storms. The heat index is climbing again though. Our heat indices should be between 100 and 105 through the weekend. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself and drinking plenty of water if you plan to be outside. If you're headed to the pool tomorrow, there will be a lot of clouds around in the morning. Those should gradually thin midday into the afternoon. During the afternoon, we'll be in the low 90s with that 20% chance of a storm. And then we take a jump in temperature Saturday. Saturday is the hottest day on our 7-day forecast. Once we get to early next week, storm chances are likely to climb once again. They're not looking like washout days, but we're likely to see a higher percentage of storms on the radar. So we bumped up rain chances for the first part of next week. We're just going to have to stay on top of any thunderstorms out there in some of our flood-prone areas, Dan.
Yeah, you said it. Thank you, Kat. Pretty soon you could get alerts on your phone to tell you about shark bites. I'll explain. It's our one last thing after the break. One last thing for you tonight. We've been talking a lot about alert systems over the past couple of days, especially because of all of the flooding that we have seen in this area and around the country. But I do want to tell you about a different kind of alert that's about to go into effect. And it's not for weather, it's not for flooding, it's for sharks. Yes, It's a shark warning system. We did a whole in-depth segment on this last year. We talked about shark bites, why they happen, how often they happen. You can find that whole thing on the WRAL YouTube page if you'd like. After that segment aired, I got this question here from a viewer named Ellen, and she said, is there a way to immediately notify beachgoers, folks in the ocean, as sharks are along the shoreline or approaching where people are in the water? Well, at the time, I didn't really have an answer to tell her. But tonight, Ellen, maybe you know somebody, maybe you help make this happen. I don't know. But the technology you're looking for is officially a thing. The U.S. Senate passed a bill establishing a system to provide emergency alerts to cell phones when there is a nearby shark attack. It works kind of like an Amber Alert or a flash flood warning that you don't download. You don't need to download anything. It just is an alert that hits your phone. This all stems from a shark bite from 2024. A shark that bit a 16-year-old in Alabama. She was on vacation in Florida at the time, Lulu Gibbon. She survived, but she lost her left hand and a portion of her leg. And afterward, she pushed lawmakers to set up an alert system to keep people safe. And here we are. Alabama's legislature passed the bill set to bring that system online in October. The U.S. Senate then passed a federal version, and now it heads to the House. A marine researcher based in Raleigh told us she thinks it's a great idea.
The shark attack system itself, alert system, would not go off that often, right? Because shark attacks are so low and they're so rare. So I don't worry about there being like a saturation or anything of too many alerts.
We'll keep an eye on it, let you know when that system, if it comes to North Carolina, if it passes federally, I'm certain it will. Thanks for making WRAL your choice for local news. Our next newscast is at 10 o'clock on Fox 50 and 11 on WRAL. Have a great night.